Most people know that the zodiac signs share their names with the 12 constellations in the sky, through which the sun travels throughout the year. It's what astrology is based on. This might not seem like it has much to do with your daily horoscope, but when you're facing a tough situation, it might help to ask yourself how your personal zodiac gods and goddesses might handle it. There is a correlation between runes, colors, astrological signs, sounds, symbols, gods and goddesses. There is an energy that runs through them all and connects them. You may even know that these constellations were named after characters in the Norse myths. But how familiar are you with the legends and ancient lore associated with these characters? Could you imagine the zodiac signs as gods you've known about your entire life? Here are some of the correlations between the Norse gods and goddesses and the 12 zodiac signs. A valiant and courageous warrior, Tyr was the god of war and battle, believed to decide the final outcome of combat. Whenever confidence and fair outcomes are desired, Tyr is called upon. Some myths state that he was the son of Odin, others that he was the son of a giant, Hymir. Tyr lost a hand trying to trap the monster wolf Fenrir. To distract it, he placed his hand in the beast's mouth, giving the other gods enough time to bind the wolf to a rock. Once Fenrir realized he had been deceived, he tore off Tyr's hand. Freyr, brother of Freya, is a god of peace and also an abundant god and one of the most respected in the Vanir clan, a group of gods representing health and fertility. He is also the god of procreation and male fertility. He rides a boar and has a ship that can fold into the size of your pocket. He was married to goddess Nanna, and was known to be the best horseback rider of the gods. He had a magic sword that could fight on its own, and was said to be the most well-endowed of the deities. Both Freya and Freyr became loyal clansmen of the Aesir gods after the war between their clans ended. It is said that they were children of the frost giantess Skadi and sea god Njord. Loki was a Jotun, the son of giantess Laufey and giant Farbodi, a shapeshifter that could transform into animals, constantly on hunt for causing havoc. His relationship with the other gods was complicated, sometimes helping them and sometimes hindering them. Upon learning that mistletoe was the only thing that could hurt Balder, son of Odin, he placed a branch into the hands of the blind god, Hod, and tricked him into throwing it at Balder, instantly killing him. Not actually the son of Odin and brother of Thor, as depicted in Marvel, but rather a blood brother of Odin and part of the Aesir clan, although sometimes because of his trickery he is not considered as such. Freya, a powerful and beautiful Norse goddess, Freya was a practitioner of the divinatory magic, able to mold the future and destinies of others, the nature of which has been lost now throughout the ages. She is the great goddess, second only to Frigg. She is the queen of the Valkyries who choose those to be slain in battle and carry them to Valhalla. She is daughter of Njord, and twin sister to Freyr. She is also a warrior goddess of great wisdom and magic. At the same time she is also associated with sensuality, fecundity, and fertility. She owns a falcon cloak, takes dove form, rides in a chariot drawn by 2 cats, or rides a boar. She weeps tears of gold, which become amber, called Freya's tears. Odin is one of the supreme Norse gods, ruler of Asgard and king of the Aesir clan, known as the father of gods. As the god of magic, poetry, and man's consciousness of inner divinity, he brings knowledge, wisdom, ideas and inspiration to help mankind. He sacrificed his right eye to see all and hung upside down on the mystical tree of life Yggdrasil for 9 days and nights to gain insight into the knowledge of the runes, which he then gifted to humans. Odin can also be a bit of a mysterious character, not quite certain in what his actions will be. His wife was Frigg, who spun the fate of humanity on her spindle, never revealing the secrets of her predictions. He is usually seen flanked by wolves and 2 ravens called Thought and Memory, and rides on his horse, Sleipnir. Mimir, in Norse mythology, the wisest of the gods. His knowledge is tremendous, and it may even outstrip that of Odin. The name Mimir means the rememberer or memory, which is a clear indication of his vast knowledge. He was also believed to be a water spirit. Mimir was killed and beheaded by the Vanir during the Aesir-Vanir War. Upon seeing the severed head, Odin embalmed it with special herbs and chanted magical songs over it to preserve it. He consulted the head in times of need, and it continued to dispense incomparable advice. Afterward, the god Odin carries around Mimir's head and it recites secret knowledge and counsel to him. According to another story, Mimir resided by a well that stood beneath one of the roots of Yggdrasil, the world tree. Heimdall, also famed as the watchman of the Aesir, the bearer of Gjallarhorn and the herald of Ragnarok, was the Norse god of foresight, surveillance, order and foreknowledge. Born of 9 maidens, all of whom were sisters, he is the guardian of Bifrost, the rainbow bridge leading to Asgard, the home of the gods, and thus the connection between body and soul. As a child, Heimdall was sent by the gods to teach humans to kindle the holy fire, to instruct them in runic wisdom, to teach them workmanship and handicraft, organized their society, and originated and stabilized the 3 classes of men as spoken of in the Song of Rig. He lived long as a man among men, and his rulership was a golden age of peace and prosperity. When he died as a human, he returned to the gods where he was stripped of his aged human shape, regained his eternal youth and was taken into Asgard. It is he who will sound the signal horn to the Aesir that Ragnarok is beginning. Hel, in Norse mythology, originally the name of the world of the dead, is the goddess of the dead and the afterlife. She herself is half dead, half alive. The Vikings viewed her with considerable trepidation. Nevertheless, the Germans saw her as mother and helpful in times of need, but vengeful upon those who transgress natural law. Hel's holy symbol is a woman's face, half black and half white, or a woman's face, half of which is rotting. Hel was one of the children of the trickster god Loki, and her kingdom was said to lie downward and northward. To be the ruler of the underworld, you have to be a pretty powerful and terrifying individual. That is exactly what the goddess Hel was. Being the daughter of Loki already made her very powerful. However, in her realm of the underworld, this half-decaying goddess was said to be even more powerful than Odin and many other Norse gods. One of the most popular gods amongst the Vikings, Thor was depicted as always valiantly conquering and defeating his enemies, saving the world with his bravery. He also wielded one of the most powerful weapons in the universe, Mjolnir, his unique hammer, which was capable of leveling mountains and slaying giants. Archaeologists have found many Iron Age hammer-shaped necklaces believed to have been created in reverence to Thor and his Mjolnir, meaning thunder, because it was said that was the noise of his hammer. He rode a chariot drawn by 2 massive goats called Tangniost and Tangrisnir. He was the son of Odin and married to Sif, a beautiful goddess associated with the earth. Thor was tasked with guarding Asgard, the stronghold of the gods and goddesses. He is the strongest of all gods and men, and is the protector of all Midgard. Baldur, the son of the chief god Odin and his wife Frigg. His name means shining day. Odin's second son, he is the god of light, love, beauty, loyalty, innocence, and rebirth. Beautiful and just, he was the favorite of the gods. Most legends about him concern his death. Norse legends tell how the gods amused themselves by throwing objects at him, knowing that he was immune from harm. The blind god Hod, deceived by the evil Loki, killed Baldur by hurling mistletoe, the only thing that could hurt him. After Baldur's funeral, the giantess Thok, probably Loki in disguise, refused to weep the tears that would release Baldur from death. The most powerful of the Norse goddesses, Frigg wove the fate of all humans on her loom, never revealing the secrets of her predictions. She was highly venerated and respected for her power and as a loving and doting mother and wife. Her primary attributes are clairvoyance, cleverness, and prophecy, but she is also the goddess of marriage and motherhood and the true mother of all and protector of children. Odin was her husband and their son was called Baldur. She made an oath with the elements, beasts, weapons, and poisons that they would not injure her beautiful son, Baldur, but she was betrayed by Loki. He tricked the blind god Hod into killing his brother. Despite her best efforts to save her son's life, then retrieve him from hell after he died, Frigg was unable to free Balder thanks to Loki's trickery. Sif is a goddess of earth, fertility, and family caregiving in Norse mythology, wife of the thunder god Thor, best known for the story in which the trickster god Loki cuts her hair as a prank and is forced to replace it with a magical headpiece, leading to the creation of several other well-known enchanted items including Thor's hammer. Apart from being the spouse of one of the most prominent gods, Sif is well known for her beauty. Her golden hair is as radiant as the sun, flowing down her back to her ankles like a dazzling drape. One of the most valuable things to the gods, Sif's hair symbolizes farm fields full of golden wheat. Even so, the latest vision of Sif is in keeping with the spirit of Norse goddesses as independent entities as capable as any god of fighting for what they believe in.